Bonjour tout le monde. Today we're talking about les adjectifs or adjectives. Now, in French, adjectives are words that are used to describe nouns, just like as in English. Examples of these could be green, big, stupid, crazy, ridiculous. And in French, these adjectives will actually follow some special rules that we don't have in English. The first is that adjectives must agree with the gender and the number of the noun that they are describing. We remember that we have a gender and a number for every single noun in French. And that's different from English. But our adjective actually has to relate and match that same gender and number. And the second rule is the placement. Adjectives in French are placed after the noun, which is the opposite of English. And we'll talk about that in another video. So while we're focusing on gender, you have to realize that all French adjectives have a gender, just like all French nouns have a gender. And they can have either a masculine or a feminine gender. You'll see here that I have a masculine noun, un chat, you can see that from the article, and a feminine noun, une chatte. If I'm going to use an adjective to describe un chat, I need to make sure that that adjective is masculine, because un chat is masculine. And it's going to be the gender of your adjective is based on the gender of your noun. So if I'm describing une chatte, a feminine cat, then I need to make sure that my adjective is feminine. Now, like I said, there are two different genders. The masculine of any adjective is actually what you're going to find in the dictionary. So if you look up the word tall or big in the dictionary in French, you will find the word grand, just like that. That is your masculine singular form, grand. Okay? To get your feminine form, so if we're talking about cat still, and I have une chatte, and I want to say it's a great cat, I will take my masculine form, and I'm going to add an E. So then I will get une chatte grande with the E added to the masculine form. Now, remember, if the adjective already ends in an E, like we have jaune, J-A-U-N-E for yellow, and you want to make it feminine, it already ends in an E, so you don't need to add anything extra. So that means for those adjectives, the masculine and the feminine singular forms are the same. Then you have your number. Like I said, you're going to generally find the masculine singular form of an adjective in the dictionary, okay? And you need to make sure that your adjective agrees with the gender and the number of the noun, okay? You either have a singular noun or a plural noun, okay? If we have a man, we have un homme, that's singular. Des hommes, some men, are plural. And the adjectives that describe these must agree with the number. Okay, your singular form, like I said, you're going to find that in the dictionary. You'll find the singular masculine form in the dictionary, okay? And we have grand, that's our singular masculine form. Remember, if we wanted to be feminine, we take our singular masculine and add an E to get our singular feminine, grande. And then you can have plural. So we can have masculine plural or feminine plural. And to make your adjective plural, you'll take your singular form. So if it's masculine, you take grand like that. And you'll just add an S to get grand with an S. If we have a feminine noun or multiple feminine nouns, then we would have grande, the singular feminine form, add an S, and we get grande with an S. Now, if your adjective already ends in an S, perhaps like gris, G-R-I-S, to make it plural, you leave it the same, okay? You do not add an extra S. Here's our first example. We have the adjective vert, which means green. If you look that up in the dictionary, this is what you'll get, which is the masculine singular form. So if we're talking about a green notebook, un cahier vert, V-E-R-T. Many green notebooks, des cahiers verts, we took our masculine singular, added an S to make it plural. And if we have une porte, which is feminine, a door, and we want a green door, une porte verte. We took the masculine singular, vert, and added an E for verte. If we have multiple green doors, we have des portes vertes. Okay, we had our feminine singular and added an S to make it feminine plural. Here's example 2. We're using jaune. Jaune is one of those adjectives that already has an E at the end of it. So it's kind of special in the feminine forms. Obviously, masculine singular would be jaune, un bureau jaune, a yellow desk. We have multiple yellow desks, des bureaux jaunes, and jaune has an S at the end. For our feminine singular form, we have une table jaune. Because jaune ends in an E in our masculine singular form, you'll see, in the feminine singular form, you don't change anything. So that means that it would be une table jaune, and if we have multiple yellow tables, we have des tables jaunes. So these forms look the same because there's no difference from the masculine and the feminine. All right, now pause and work this out in your notes, okay? I gave you the adjective here. Now, according to the gender and the number of what noun you have, give me the adjective in the correct form, whether it's going to be masculine singular, masculine feminine, or masculine plural, or feminine singular, feminine plural. And voilà la réponse. Okay, you'll see masculine singular, bleu, stayed the same as what you had from the dictionary. Masculine plural, you added an S to the masculine singular. Feminine plural, you added an E to the masculine. Feminine singular, you added an E to the masculine singular. And then feminine plural, you added an S to the feminine singular. Now, we have two groups of irregulars, okay? Irregular adjectives do not follow the rules for gender and number. And there are two different sets. So for group one, they have their own rules, and there are rules for gender and number. Just these rules are different from the ones that we just learned. An example would be un chat individuel. Individuel ends in EL, and that's a set. Any adjective ending in EL, you cannot just add an E to make them feminine. You actually have to double the L and then add an E. And here's a chart of all of those. So if you have an adjective ending in any of these endings, then their feminine rule is right here. So if we have an adjective like blanc that ends in C, for the feminine form, it changes to blanche. You'll see all of the forms right over on that side of the table. The only other weird one is adjectives ending in AL. That change is actually only in the masculine plural. Instead of just adding an S to ideal in the masculine singular, you make it AUX. Go ahead and copy that in your notes. And then we get to the irregulars group 2. These irregulars don't have rules. They are totally and completely irregular, and you just have to memorize them. All of these adjectives come before the noun and have 5 forms. So you'll see in this chart, make sure you copy this down. Here's your adjective in English. Here's the masculine singular. And then they have a special form because they come before the noun. If your noun starts with a vowel, A, E, I, O, U, or starts with an H, this is the form that you use. Okay, so make sure to copy all of this down. And that is the gender and number of adjectives. So, à buffet, what you need to do for homework. Follow those directions. Give me the correct form of your given adjective according to the gender and the number of your noun. Write these in your notes. Show them to me in class tomorrow.